Hello everyone, welcome to ViTech Talks. In this lecture, we are going to learn what is properties file and what is the difference between .properties and YAML file. Okay. So before going to create properties files, okay. So first we need to understand what is property file and what is the importance of property file. Okay. See, suppose we have a project. Okay, we have a project. I want to connect with Snowflake, or I want to connect with MySQL database. Okay, there are some external properties. Okay, so instead of going to hard code, okay, I'll show you here. Just observe here. See, so every time, suppose if you have a database, you want to connect with the database. So in that case, what you need to do? So you need to write, or you need to hard code all the values here, like you see account name, warehouse, database name, schema, username and password. So instead of going to hard code, so what we are going to do is here, okay, we are going to create separate property file in source main resources. Like this is one of the property file. Okay, I'll tell you how to create the property file also. So this is one of the properties. From here we are reading. So okay, what is the advantage of creating the property file? See, I want to use it in multiple places with the same configuration. Suppose I have 10 connectors. Okay, I have 10 connectors, DB connectors. So instead of going to hard code each and every connector, like select, insert, and update and delete, so we are going to keep all the values into a single place, and we are going to use single configuration. Okay, single configuration in all the times. Okay, so that is the main advantage. So here, if you observe, we can able to create two types of properties files. Okay, one is simple. Okay, so I will create one. Okay, sample dot properties. So this is an extension, sample config dot properties file. And there is another file we can write, sample config dot YAML. First we'll talk about properties, how to create. So in order to create properties file, okay, go to source main resources. So here need to create file, need to create a file with extension as dot properties. Okay, extension as dot properties. Suppose I have connectors. I need to connect with Snowflake database. Suppose snow dot db dot, okay, my account name. Account name is something like, okay, XYZ India. Okay, you can consider this one. Okay, account name. Next, what are the parameters which it is available? Okay, those all the parameters we are going to keep it here. Account name. Okay, let me copy this same value. Next, snow.db dot. After account name, we have warehouse. Okay, I'm not going to take all the values, just For sample, I'm going to consider as 3 properties. Okay, snow.db.database. Okay, database equal to, see, like this we need to write. Okay, so like this, if it is a properties file, okay, dot properties, so make sure, see, whatever the key you are going to give it, okay, you have to identify, or we are going to use, okay, with the two values, in between two values, okay, in between two keywords we need to use snow.db. Either you can use snow.db also, okay, that is up to you, but the same value we need to use, it in our properties file. So how to use this? Okay, dollar. So while accessing db in the configurations, the same value you have to keep it, so that what it will do, it will read this value. Okay, it will read this value. Suppose I want to access, okay, in order to access, access properties, below is the syntax. Okay, I want to access warehouse. Okay, this is how we can access. Okay, even you can keep, suppose if you are going to give snow.db account name, okay, in this case you have to use like this. You have to use like this. If you have used dots in between, okay, then you need to use the same value. If you observe here, okay, see, every time we are going to write snow.db, okay, snow.db account name, snow.db account name, and warehouse, snow.db and database. Okay, suppose if we have 20 parameters, you need to write 20 times. Okay, you need to write 20 times as the same value. Okay, instead of going to write multiple times with the same value, we are going to use YAML. Okay, YAML files. So how we are going to create YAML file and what is the syntax? We'll see now. See the same thing. You can go to source main resources. Need to create a file with extension as YAML. Okay, so here you can create. Okay, this is our file. Suppose you can assume source main resources. Click on new. Click on file here. So what is the file name? Okay, we'll create one properties and one YAML file. sampleConfig.properties. What I will do? Simply I'll copy paste. See, this is how we can create .properties file. .properties file. Now we'll see the difference between YAML and .properties. At the end, we'll create the YAML file also. Now the same values how we can write. Okay. Yeah. Before that, so what is YAML here? Okay. What is YAML? So YAML is nothing but, okay, let me write. Y means, okay. So it's like a Amalian language. So we can call it as, or else what you can do is YAML. A means ain't. A means markup. L means language. See this YAML configurations. Okay, so this is very famous configuration file. So nowadays in all the applications, like even if you talk about Docker, Kubernetes, even if it is in a Spring Boot or Python, Java, so everywhere, okay, all the configurations, we are going to use it as an YAML file. Okay, this is very important. So, okay, so either you can use dot properties or YAML, both it will work, but the preferred one is YAML configuration. Okay, how we are going to write this? Okay, just observe here. See, snow DB is common for all, right? Okay, first one is snow. Okay, snow colon and give enter, give two spaces. Okay, two spaces. Then what is the common one inside that? DB colon and give one enter, give two spaces. Now account name, right? Okay, just to copy that. See, this is how we need to create. This is how we need to define the YAML configurations. Now, how to define this warehouse? Just observe. See, snow and DB, it's already there. So what you can do, just give one enter. See, it's like similar to RAML, guys. Okay, RAML, how we are going to write a RAML, okay, while define the properties and those kind of things. So just we need to follow indentation. Okay, indentation. So warehouse equal to compute. Now, see, I'm not writing always like SnowDB. Okay, once we have already defined. Okay, this is like so what we can say. Okay, there is some tree structure it is following. Okay, tree structure. See, snow DB. Okay, snow DB. Inside this, we have account name, warehouse, and database. See, in order to access, okay, in order to access these properties also, the same syntax. Okay, see, there is no difference between accessing the values. Okay, snow, 1 minute, snow.db.account name, right? So here also, so what is the first value? Snow dot, then db dot account name. But while while defining into the file, okay, while writing into dot properties or YAML file, so the syntax is different. Okay, this is the syntax. Suppose I want to write for http dot port value. Okay, just observe here. The port is 8081. Now message I am going to keep it as hi. Just observe here how we can write deployment dot environment, or I will keep it as env, deployment dot env equal to QA. Just observe how we can write, okay, how we can convert these properties into YAML file. So very simple. See, this is related to SnowDB and account name. Okay, we have another properties. This is not related to Snow. Okay, Snow or DB. So this is different properties. What you can do is either you can write it in top or you can write it in bottom. The same line. So wherever you have declared Snow, right? Okay, this is our first line. You can consider as this is our first line. It's very simple. HTTP. See, wherever dot is there, you have to put colon. Okay, you have to put colon and give enter, give two spaces, port, okay, port, inside this port, see, there is one more thing. So here we have equal to, right? So here we have equal to, so here we should not keep equal, okay? So you have to keep colon only. See, it's very simple. I'll write it here. Okay, 8081. So there is a one important point what we can consider as note. See, replace dot and equal to with semicolon. It's very simple. See, you have properties file. You have this properties file. I want to convert this into YAML file. It's very simple. Just replace with colon. So now if you observe this one, so message is only single value. Okay. So what you can do, just message and okay. So here I have written like this. See, in properties file always, okay, the value after key we have to write equal to, but in the YAML we need to write colon. Okay, message is hi, right? Okay, the message colon, just type hi. Next, what is the another value? Deployment.env. Okay, just let me copy here. Deployment colon, right? Okay, instead of dot you can give colon and give enter and give two spaces environment. In the equal to place also you can give colon and enter QA. See, this is how we can write. This is how we can define YAML configurations. So this is a major difference. So here we are going to write everything into a single line for each property. But if you observe this one, so this is a different syntax. The only syntax is different. Okay, now I'll create YAML file for this. Okay, sampleConfig.YAML. So how to create? Go to source main resources, click on new, click on file. Okay, now what I will do is just copy. Just copy this. Okay, there are some spaces. Okay, let me cover this. Just give shift tab. See, now snow under we have db. Inside this db we have an account name and warehouse. Okay, so this is related to one set of values. Okay, now coming to http port, this is another value, and message, this is another one. Deployment dev. See, here you can mention the environment QA, right? Okay, envqa is QA. Suppose environment is dev, you can keep it as dev. env dot mod prod. See, now how we can convert this into properties? So that's very simple. I'll just copy paste here for your understanding purpose. See, if you want to convert into properties, deployment, instead of colon, what you can do, just keep dot here. Just copy this. So here colon, just give equal to. So what you need to do, just, so again, deployment, right? This is common for this. Deployment dot dev. Environment dev, instead colon, you can give equal to and dev. This is environment pod. Just replace. See, this is the syntax for YAML. YAML. So this is the syntax for properties. how we are going to create dot properties. See, make sure while creating, okay, while creating, so the extension is very important. sampleConfig.properties. If you go with properties, you can write it like this. If you go with any YAML, okay, you need to write it like this. So these are the major difference. So in order to access these values, so again, it's very simple. The same thing we can use. I want to access for port, right? http dot port. Okay. So then same value it will come. So the same way deployment and environment and messages you can access. So here, suppose if we have any common values, okay, so then we can reduce our code here, okay. So we can easily understand, okay, snow.db. So inside is account name and warehouse and database names. I'll show you one of the example here. If you go to my config, see here, http port, okay, this is an YAML configuration, db, sfc, account name and warehouse, database and these things, okay. So how we are going to configure here? That's very simple. See, $db.sfc account name, db.sfc.warehouse. So this is the structure we are following in our YAML configurations. Okay. Yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any doubts, okay, please comment in a comment box. I'll happy to assist you. Okay. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video. Happy learning.